to another episode of Ranger Touring. Today we're at Little Desert National Park and we're here to take on some of the sandy tracks around here. Letting down the tyres this morning, gone down to about anywhere between 18 to 22 psi, depending on how it goes. So Little Desert National Park is about 5 hours from Melbourne, and it sort of sits towards the west near the border of South Australia and Victoria. So it's a nice little spot, and it's the smaller one of Big Desert National Park, which is probably another 2 hours north of here. The car's had a few issues recently that I've had fixed up. So I've had the brakes in the rear fixed. They weren't doing anything. It was leaking brake fluid and causing a whole bunch of dramas. And I've also had the suspension refitted. There's a whole bunch of issues there with how it was sitting at the top, and there was actually a bend in the coil. So now a few of those issues are fixed. Hopefully I'm not going to have any more trouble. Still got a few little small issues that I got to fix up, but overall looking for a good day with no damage. Been going for probably maybe 2 hours now, and I haven't seen a single other car on the tracks out here. There's not a huge amount out here to see. It's pretty vast open and pretty barren, but still very impressive country. So I just stopped here at Dallenberg's Mill. Just thought I'd check it out. There's not again a lot to it, but old rusty windmill, pretty cool looking thing. The tracks so far have been relatively easy. I haven't really needed to go into low range at all, just staying in high range and sitting about 30 kilometers an hour going across the tracks. They're pretty up and down, so you do bottom out every so often and sort of rest the undercarriage on the sand. So probably recommend, if you came out here, it'd be ideal to have a lift, but you definitely don't need it. Well, we'll keep cracking on and go check out a few more of the spots. Trying to go to the Sisters Lookout, which is probably still a while away, but we'll have a look at that this afternoon. So if you've never driven in the sand before, there's probably 4 main points to remember. Tire pressure. Drop your tire pressure down to about that 18 to 16 psi mark. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. Secondly, keep up momentum, especially if there's an incline. Giving it a little bit of momentum through the corner or the hill will just glide your car over the sand. Third thing, don't fight the ruts. The ruts will steer your vehicle in a certain direction. If you're steering into the soft sand, it's just going to make it harder. So have a light grip on the steering wheel and your car will mostly be able to steer itself. And the final thing is make sure you've got recovery aids. For me, I've got the winch on the front, I've got the tow hitch on the back, and then the trusty Mactrax on the roof, which is definitely where they come into their element here in sand. Hopefully we won't need them, but in the eventuality that you do get stuck, make sure you've got all the gear. There's been a few of these mud holes along the way, but you really have to pick and choose which ones you want to go through. Because in this case, at least there's trees around to winch off. But if you're on your own and you go through some of them, there's absolutely nothing around. So if you got stuck, you're probably in a lot of trouble. If you've never done any four-wheel driving before, this is probably a good place to start. Little Desert National Park isn't too complex. None of the terrain is too rough. Just sand driving essentially, but it gets you used to your vehicle, so we probably recommend this for beginners. There's no real massive challenges out here, which is a bit unfortunate, but definitely a pretty cool experience driving through such a dispersed terrain. So I just parked up on the side of the track here to head up to the Sisters Lookout. It's not really well signposted at all. Well, there is no sign at all. And you really wouldn't know the track unless you were going up there with someone who knew where they were heading. But anyway, we found it now. Just gonna head up, have a quick squeeze, and then probably start to head towards a campsite for tonight and park up there. Should be nice and relaxing. When they say it's a lookout, it's pretty unofficial and it's essentially just the only hill in the area, but not bad. Get a pretty good view of what's going on, but I'll show you that when we get to the top. It's a bit misleading. You come up over the top of the first rise, but the actual hill's over there, so gotta go down and then back up again. Might take a little longer. Finally made it to the top. And there is an actual walking track from the other side, and there's a little ramp. Wow. Very spectacular view. Very, very peaceful. So the South Australian borders between 50 to 100 k's in that direction, and Melbourne is sort of that direction. You won't be able to see it on the camera, but really far in the distance you'll be able to see the Grampians National Park as well, which is another trip I've planned in a couple of weeks. So The main area of the campsite is actually up the back there. There's some picnic tables which people have obviously used before and set up camp around there. However, there's this massive open space, so thought why not set up here. Looks a little bit nicer, and so we get to watch the sun go down, and yeah, just a bit more relaxing, I think. So the plan from here this morning, just gonna cook up a coffee and then have some breakfast, and then we're gonna leave the waterhole here and just head south out via some of the tracks, and then we'll drive all the way back home. So not too big of a day planned, but should be good. Woke up this morning, it was about went down just below 0 last night, and it's sort of sitting around 3 degrees at the moment at about 8:30. Sun's just coming up though, so hopefully it'll start warming up. Really nice spot. I'm pretty happy with it. I was the only person here last night, so very remote, but you know, pretty peaceful as well. So I didn't see anyone on the tracks the whole of yesterday, but yeah, it's all part and parcel of coming to the little desert, I guess. Thanks for watching this video on Little Desert National Park. I hope that you eventually get to come here as well. It's a pretty nice spot and definitely worth checking out. For all those who haven't, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to push out a video every 3 weeks. I'm going to be taking on a few more spots around Victoria, and then next year I've got all the spots around southeast Queensland that I'm going to be doing. So lots more content coming, again, hopefully every 3 weeks. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.